Everybody, well, we hate to interrupt this, but we have a destructive thunderstorm. Now it's a tornado warning. There it is. We're just ahead of it. So, and for our viewers across the state, please know this is really dangerous. That's why we're interrupting this important news broadcast. All right, cross lanes, St. Albans. We have right there the rotation on this particular storm. And we also have reports of baseball-sized hail with this. And so that's why, again, this has already been tagged as a destructive thunderstorm. People have been stopping on the interstate. We don't see that. This is not Texas. This is not Oklahoma. That's the kind of storm we're dealing with right here with that kind of hail. This is angling right toward downtown Charleston. So people, even though the arrows are coming up here to the north, this cell has the capacity to break windows. This cell has the capacity to dent cars and so forth. Right now, it's all by the cross lanes area, and it's heading right down toward downtown Charleston, right at commute time. So again, this is very dangerous if you know people who are out and about. And again, if you're in Clarksburg right now or Wheeling, you can certainly understand and empathize with the fact that this is nasty, nasty stuff. Brian Hughes is driving the radar here for us. This warning goes until 6:15, so we're going to be just a minute, okay? And then we're going to try and get some cameras in here for you to check this out, and we'll try and get some other firsthand reports. But I have had texts from people saying, hey, this hit my house. It is absolutely beating things up where I live, and that was over by Hurricane. Then the storm intensified right in here in the Kanawha Valley, the western side of the Kanawha Valley here. So south of Polka through Cross Lanes, all Tyler Mountain, this is all a damaging wind. This is going now, just crossed I-64. This is, we'll get some cameras pulled up here too in just a moment. Out here in the area by Mardi Gras Casino, and this is going to continue down toward Institute Hill, which is this set of curves right here. Really a bad stretch of road on any time it rains because it's curvy and it's hilly, and it's impossible to see. Cars are stopping on the interstate. Here is the wind portion of this, St. Albans Nitro, and we'll go over those steps again. You want to get into your shelter, your most interior part of your house. You want to make sure that you're away from windows, okay? So that's the biggest thing. Get to the lowest level. If you have a basement, go in there. If you don't have a basement, where do I go? The closet. You go to the bathroom, somewhere in there where there's no windows. You get some pillows, whatever you can, some cushions. Bring the dogs in, bring the kids in, the cats, whatever. Bring them all into that spot. And this is a damaging wind potential with that right there, St. Albans. Now, the other thing about this is, too, even with that hail, you want to make sure that everyone is in. Because this right there, that colorization of, what we're saying is we're past the echoes that we have. And we've gone into this zone where we're just out of colors. So that's how strong the storm is. And I've seen the tops are about 50,000 feet. This storm is going to work its way into the Charleston area. I'll pull a couple of different cameras up here, and we apologize to everyone who's seeing, the Channel 13 branding here in other areas, but this is kind of home base for this particular broadcast. I'm going to try and pull some cameras up so y'all can look around and see. Look at all the people out right now in South Charleston and all the people in Kanawha City, and the storm is coming right for them. And there you go, the Charleston camera right now downtown. It looks pretty serene, but it's coming. It is really coming. Hurricane, we just saw a lot of hail. I'll show you that. Now that has gone through. You see the pile of hail down there at the bottom of the screen. The tornado warning continues now until 6:15. There it is, and you can see the rotation right there. We all, in this yellow box, again, to include Morgantown, Fairmont, but the big cell of concern right now is heading right for downtown Charleston. Everyone, again, in southern West Virginia, Beckley, you'll get the storms later tonight. Hopefully it won't be this strong. This is going to curve into Fayette County eventually, Nicholas and Clay. But there is your tornado warned storm, and it's our policy to stay with these because, again, this one in particular just has that capacity for damage. And we did have people, again, just stopping on the interstate. And let's see, if I look over here at the camera.
Is it safe for Albert to be on that roof?
And if he would come down, he needs to come down. Yes, we're checking out our camera that we had on the roof. We were going to try and get a shot of that for you, but we just decided that our photographer needs to come down because, again, exactly this problem. Let's go out to that nitro camera here if it's still up. I'm going out there for you. Okay, they had the camera tipped down because everybody stopped. And now people are moving again. But that was really dangerous from the standpoint of you had people stopping to get away from the hail. I'm going to pull up your computer here so people can see it. Here's the sky over Kanawha City, and that is, we're looking at the storm coming in from the right side of your screen to the left over top of us.
Yeah, so there you see the capital left side.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go back to the...
yeah, this you can actually see, I mean, there's this entire storm here is rotating.
The texture is just something else. All right, pardon me on that. Let me get back to this. There's the tornado warning. Winfield is in the clear now. I should make that clear. Winfield, you are in the clear. And this is going to go quicker. This is going to be out of that warning box way before the 6:15.
Yeah, this is moving incredibly fast.
It is really moving fast. So downtown Charleston, it's coming in on you here momentarily. Let me get back there and take this off. Pardon me for that real quickly. I'm gonna find my correct frame. You're going to see this camera coming up. There's Chapmanville. Oh, and the downtown camera's down. All right, we're going to go to the South Charleston cameras down. We can tell that this is a nasty storm then. Let me go back out to the camera right there. There we go. So we're in South Charleston, or what we call Southridge out there. The camera looking back up toward, now you're looking up toward Charleston. And you can't even see anything. It's just so dark because that storm is just solid with nothing but hail, large hail, and just intense rain and wind. So let's get back into that. I'm going to check out some of the wind for you. Spiraling around right around Dunbar right now. If you want to pull up the Dunbar traffic camera on that one with traffic, then I'll jump over to yours through this. And then again, there you can see it's really a lot of wind shear, we call that. Hail product, it's off the chart. I mean, we've lost it. It went through, usually we have white for hail. I'm going to have to use that right there. It's just off the chart with hail. And then let's go to our triple threat analysis. And that is showing us the tornado warning actually until 6.
Look at that. That's coming. That's the storm coming across the Point Pleasant area, bottom right-hand corner of your screen.
Okay, right-hand corner of the screen.
Yeah, that.
Oh my, that's a second storm. He's in Point Pleasant.
Yeah.
Swinging that camera around. So there's a lot happening here at this moment. But the tornado warned storm.
I'll check that one real quick.
There's so much going on. I know it's hard to kind of see this purple, but the white is the problem. Cross range could be 3-inch hail. That's likely going to scrape just north of downtown. Might scrape Yeager Airport. Obviously, I'm sure there's like what they call an airport warning.
We've already had that issue.
We did get the airport warning. So yeah, flights are going to be halted in that particular area. That is a big monster storm, friends. And again, we beg your indulgence in other areas. We know that this is kind of localized, but this is very serious stuff. That's the storm in Point Pleasant that we were looking at. Our crew was in Point Pleasant looking back into that severe thunderstorm, which is crossing now in Gallia County. That will go into Mason County. And then this one is going to go right through Charleston, just north of downtown. We'll get a couple looks here at that.
Oh, we're just going to do the 5th floor, gentlemen.
Okay, thank you.
10th floor.
He's going to go to the 5th floor. And here's the
not anymore.
Camera. Okay, yeah. Chris, we can hear you. So you're on the microphone with us. Chris Knoll is in Point Pleasant. And we'll see if we can jump in with him in just a moment. As he's a little north of storm number 2. But I don't see anything that looks like a funnel, which is great.
No, I do not either. And that's what I've been trying to look at the South Charleston camera. Of course, you see that going across the Charleston camera.
But the hail is just terrible, friends. It's very large and damaging, and we have had several reports. So traffic, I'm sure, is probably going to stop right there at the split. People are probably going to do the same thing. This is not something we are used to.
Let's pull up his microphone.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead. If Chris can hear us, he can go ahead. Chris, if you can hear us, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, so sorry, it's a little hard to hear you through the wind that's just started picking up, and we are starting to see some heavy rain come on in. The wind has definitely started moving on over here in Point Pleasant, and right now, not seeing any hail for us right now. We can just see just how strong the wind is at the moment, and that storm is just really starting to cross over the Ohio River right now. That storm is currently still only a severe thunderstorm warning over on the other side, but still is pretty strong winds out over here, and that's what we're seeing right now in Point Pleasant.
Okay, all right, Chris, thanks. There's going to be hail just a few miles south of you. That's big hail. We need to watch that. That one's not rotating.
A few miles south, okay.
Yeah, just a couple miles south of you there. So heads up on that. In the meantime, our massive hail maker right here, this actually is a supercell like you would see out in the plains, that is wrapping up with that large hail. It's throwing it into Big Chimney right now. People who are now under the gun would be east of there. If we look, it's Big Chimney, it's Dial, it's Blue Creek. It's just going to scrape Yeager Airport and continue just north of downtown Charleston. Now, the other problem is that wind portion is going through South Charleston right into downtown Charleston. The wind portion, the rotational portion of the storm.
I can see right now, I can see that hail core. I've seen it here on the Canal City camera looking off to the north. I keep swinging this just around just kind of get some a little more clarification, but that's definitely working its way across the area now from west to east. But we're looking with that Canal City camera, top right corner of your screen there. We are looking at, and now center of your screen there, we're looking at that with the hail core that's moving across the airport area. And then the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, that's at Point Pleasant. That's that storm that's coming up the river there. That one does have rotation in it, but at this point, it is just a severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to have large hail in it. These are hailers. These are Great Plains style thunderstorms. You know, I grew up with these, and these are the ones that you hunker down and get ready, because you're going to have tons of ice falling out of the sky. There's going to be all kinds of damage. We're going to be backed up for months around here getting vehicles repaired.
3-inch hail right there. If you can check out on your camera there some of those traffic. I'm interested in the traffic right there. Actually, the traffic analysis. If people are stopping, if we can see that people are stopping.
Yeah, we will get over here too.
It's look, friends, we understand this is not something that is very normal for us with this large hail during a rush hour. So people are trying to get under the overpasses. It's so dangerous to do that. It would be probably better to just pull off to the side. You can't see anything. It's kind of a no-win situation. But if you do stop, then you risk a pileup. That's the biggest problem. If everybody pulled off to the side and stopped, it's still not great, still not safe. But hopefully people are just going to take heed of this. This secondary area is going to go up I-79. So you already have one. Here's one patch that's moving this way. All right. So that's cut off right here. So that just crossed I-79. This one is across 77 going across I-79 north of there. So if you're in Big Chimney and you need to get up to the north, don't go. If you're in Clendenin, you need to get down into Charleston, don't go. How long? Give this an hour. Give this an hour. There's no sense in getting into this for an hour. If you're Clendenin, you need to get downtown Charleston for some reason, call somebody and say, I won't be there for an hour. I'm not leaving the house for an hour.
Hailing in downtown.
I just was seeing hail here in downtown.
We're gonna
at the
check
split
this out.
here.
Okay, yeah, it's coming down pretty hard right outside of the.
Up. There we go. There's the hail. There's the hail right there on the Charleston camera. You can see it now. And we talked about, see on the right side of that camera there, looking from Farm Clan of Campbell, looking north, to the right side of that screen would be where the airport is. And this is what we were talking about. So that's not just rain, that's hail. And again, pretty sure people are going to be stopping out there on the interstate. Okay, if you look in the upper right box there where Brian has traffic. Oh, yep, we lost a little bit of signal there, but it's okay. It'll come back. It'll come back. Oh, there, look at the boat coming up the river too there. Okay, into the big thunderstorm where Chris Knoll is. So this is affecting traffic and boat traffic. Oh my goodness, yeah, guys, make sure you get in your car, okay? We appreciate the shot, but if you just want to lock it down and hold the camera like from the car or be in the car up off the ground, that'd be good, because there's a little too much lightning for you guys. I know it's not their first rodeo, but we don't want to have any problems there.
This is a tale of this thunderstorm, which is, you look on the right side of the screen, that's just as you're coming around Canal City, that's over there by US 60 as you're going to go down towards Bell and such. And then on the left side of your screen, that's where the thunderstorm has just passed by there near the Patrick Street Bridge. And then you have the sunshine's breaking out. The interesting part about this, have not seen anything that definitely shows that we have severe rotation.
That's good.
So
if it's coming into town right now.
It's gonna be there from downtown all the way to the Big Chimney area.
Yep. So we're watching. Oh, there's the wind. Okay, this is what I was saying. We were looking for the wind shear. If there's going to be something, this will get in shelter right now downtown. There's going to be something that comes down out of that cloud with wind. It's going to be right now in downtown Charleston. And the hail was just north of downtown, which is fine. Nobody needs the hail right now. But this is where the wind is at its strongest. Now, these are leaves that are just coming out, so they're going to grab a little bit more weight load. You're probably going to have more power outages. I'll check that here for you in just a minute, too. And again, we ask the indulgence of our audience across West Virginia and surrounding states as we continue to cover this tornado-warned storm right into the capital city of West Virginia during the peak of rush hour with intense hail, damaging hail. We've already seen, I'll pull up the hail swath here too so our friends can see that. It's been intense. Oh my goodness. That's where we've had hail today, damaging hail. Look at that. Started in south central Ohio and continued. This is just the past hour. And it went from Ade, which is the central portion of rural Lawrence County, Ohio, right into northern Cabell, right there across Hurricane Winfield, right between it, just like split the uprights, and now right into downtown Charleston. And they put the tornado warning out until 6 p.m. And we'll check on the chat, too, to make sure that they're not going to expire this. But I'm hearing from, a lot of people. There is the tornado warning right there until 6 p.m. Take shelter now in a basement or interior room or lowest floor of a sturdy building. That just came in. Of course, you just heard that coming across, and that is an official warning from the National Weather Service. That is the way your phone would receive that, the EAS we call that, and that is for officially a tornado warning until 6 o'clock for the area that extends from downtown Charleston out right to the Clay County line into Fayette County, just a little tip of Fayette County right there near Marting. It's just west of Dixie. Got some family out that way. And the Summersville area will maybe see a severe thunderstorm warning out of this as this cell continues. We do believe it's going to drop this direction, taking a little bit of a turn. These are what we call right turners. They get so large out on the globe, literally a little effect of the globe's rotation comes into play and they start to spin to the right. That's how large of a mass this is. And we continue to watch.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if our crew is still up there, but that was bad stuff that we were looking at. And then what do you have here in South Charleston?
We're looking back at that thunderstorm as it's heading off to the east. And mind you, so out here in South Charleston, this is out at the Astor dealership. We are definitely looking at that as it continues off to the east. And we're at the top of the hill, so we can at least get a good look. And that's why we're trying to see, is there anything is there a lowering?
Right.
No, we do not have anything that is lowered with this, but the wind is significant at times with this thunderstorm as it presses off to the east, and we've been watching that thunderstorm. We've been watching that area, also into the Kanawha City area. We've got this camera. We'll swing this back around. We'll swing this back around to the east here because the wind is continuing to push this off to the east. So with that being said, let's see here. Get this camera swinging around there. Here we go. Still looking at any signs of rotation, and there we go. Okay, so you see at the top of the hill right there, that is the Eagle View apartment complex. You're going to have a good vantage of this thunderstorm, but we don't see anything that shows that there's a lowering here. This is from the Tim Hogan Design Gallery there on McCorkle, and as you get down there to 39th, 40th Street.
Yep. So now downtown Charleston, that's just gone by you, all right? So downtown and points west, St. Albans cross lanes, you're in the clear now. You're in the clear, but Kanawha City not. This is how tightly we're slicing this. Kanawha City, you'd still be in the warning. Malden out to Anfred, Colford. And we see that our friends in Clarksburg have done a little something different, which is fine. Again, on a statewide broadcast, there's a lot of moving parts. Just to kind of reset this, all right? Morgantown is included in a severe thunderstorm watch, as is Clarksburg, as is Snowshoe, as is Summersville, Lewisburg, Beckley, Bluefield, Princeton. You have not got into the game yet, but you more than likely will later tonight. 52-mile-an-hour wind gust just at Yeager Airport was recorded. Lots of piles of hail on the south side of I-64 near the Winfield area. Just coming to me, text messages that I'm just receiving here and alerts. So the northern portion of basically this box is utilizing the energy. The southern portion, not yet. So this is going to happen later tonight. You will pick up these strong to severe thunderstorms because what will likely happen is these storms will somewhat, what we say, grow a tail as the cold front sweeps through. More storms will form up in this zone, in Kentucky, in southern West Virginia. So Beckley, Bluefield, Princeton, again, we appreciate your indulgence on this, but You're not quite in the game yet, but you certainly more than likely will be later tonight. All the ingredients are there for the same kind of storms that we've seen, even with the lack of daytime heat. It's still going to be warm, still going to be humid, still have very strong winds aloft. And this is just a one tornado warning cell that we've picked up so far today. And what's amazing is that the storms that formed up behind it are actually behind it up here where it should be cooler, but the storms are still hanging together. And that's the third severe thunderstorm warning today for our friends in Scioto County, which also has some rotation going for it. Right back here, look at that, right on the Ohio River. That's the third severe thunderstorm warning. And then you can see that the rotation is showing up in these columns right there. That's what these columns indicate. So very tall storms, very capable of damage again. Get into your safe spots south of Clendenin. It's just, you're not quite in the worst part of this. You're right on the edge of the warning in Clendenin. It's going to go out through Quick, Odell, out through Quick Road out there, Anfred, Candelia, A-Cup. And now we're starting, once we get out past Coal Ridge, luckily it starts getting pretty rural out that way, which is great. In the fact that there's fewer people and fewer things in the way of this just hail maker. Tornado warning was just peeled down. So again, in the clear, Yeager Airport, South Charleston, downtown Charleston, South Ridge, Davis Creek, in the clear, all clear, Polka, Winfield, Crosslinks, Nitro.
I get text messages from folks back there to the west that say it's all sunshine out there now.
That's the problem, because now we have the storm coming in on the heels that could create more hail. I got photos from home of large hail, which is in Cabell County. Point Pleasant is back up, bottom right, and we're looking again at kind of the aftermath of storm number 2. Big hail was seen again in the Taze Valley area. Pictures coming into us. So this is a steady state storm, Brian, which is continuing to just throw the hail out. Basically, and where you see the black colorization right there, Mill Creek Road, White Oak Roads, crossing down now into the southeastern portion of Kanawha County, Mammoth and Putney and Pond Fork and Amelia, Coleridge picking up the hail right now. And this will be sliding eventually on into Fayette County, where we'll join coverage. Should this become a tornado, we would join coverage here pretty soon with Storm Tracker 59. Our friends there would pick that up as their area of responsibility. But Clay County, you're just a little bit on the edge of this, and I'll ask Amanda too. I'm sorry that we've stepped all over the news, but if you do have any texts or reports that you've seen from your friends, let us know. Please, anytime. Just wave your
Definitely
hands.
seeing some softball size hail in the Hurricane area in Putnam County area. Yeah, we have some pictures, and you have some pictures on your phone, Spence. I know you've been a little busy right now. We're trying to get those flipped around for everybody you can see, but we're talking the kind of hail that is not only huge, but it's covering the ground. That's in the Big Chimney area. Yeah, thank you, Kevin, so much for sending that to us. And you can see it almost looks like snow in his backyard. He said things are starting to lighten up a bit, but that is in the Big Chimney area of Kanawha County. Also hearing about some stuff, and I don't know if you guys can see it on the traffic cams, about something maybe happening on 79 as well, as far as the weather is concerned. Also in the hurricane area, lots of big hail, decent size. I wouldn't say this one's quite as big as a baseball. Go golf ball size hail for sure, and it really came down fast and furious in so many areas. Now it seems like some of those spots in Putnam County that are more tucked away by the hills, by the mountains, didn't get as much as some of the areas that are a bit flatter. So like we saw on the interstate there, and some other parts of Scott Depot. So definitely a busy afternoon. A friend of mine in the Jackson County area, she's in the Sandyville area, she said, we're waiting on the storm here. It's thundering and dark right now, so they're kind of waiting for all of this to come through. Everybody's kind of just bracing for it.
And the reason we've been on with this, one, it was a tornado warning, and that's our policy. Two, this is damaging cars, is what I'm getting. I just had a chance to look down at the phone, try to catch my breath on this.
Same here.
Yeah, it's damaging cars, and that's just a shame. And we want people to know that could still be the occasion here in places in the eastern portion of Kanawha County.
Yeah, Taze Valley, we've got windows broken out and such. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get this up here in just a second for us.
Okay.
Just to show, really more than anything, the damaging hail that we are dealing with here.
So that's anywhere here on the big radar picture, anywhere here in that zone right there, and that's coming out pretty much this way into the eastern portion of Kanawha County. And just a little housekeeping here. For our stations along the way, we'll ask you to go ahead as we approach the end of the hour to go ahead and do what you need to with your commercial breaks along the way. We're going to stay with this on the local Channel 13 station.
Let's go to Weather 2. Weather 2 real
Brian
quick.
has some imagery here on Weather 2 for us.
Yeah, this
There's
is
the hail.
this is Tays Valley here. John Brown, we all know John Brown, great guy. You can see this is hail that's coming out. This is stuff that's been taking out windows here
Wow.
at the dealership there.
My
so
goodness. Okay, Rob, so we'll say goodbye to other stations along the way. Thanks for your patience. Stay safe tonight, okay, in your area too. And we still have Clarksburg, Fairmont, Morgantown, Beckley, Princeton, all still in the severe thunderstorm watch. But we're going to continue here on the Channel 13 station here with this hail. So we'll say goodbye to the other stations along the network right now, and we'll continue on 13 News. And we continue here on WOWK 13 News in Charleston, Huntington, Ashland, Ironton.
As Spencer, in that video, I'm looking at it, there's easy golf ball size hail, if not just a touch larger than that.
Yeah, and now it's moving now with the tornado warning, which that tornado warning, we'll see if it expires. It doesn't matter. It's still a damaging hail storm that's coming right through the region from west to east. So that's why we're still on with this. We're not going to give up on this, because if your stuff's getting broken up and people are getting hurt and roads are stopping, then it's absolutely problematic, and we're going to stay with you on this, okay? Here's our cell, Eastern Kanawha County. It's 6 o'clock, WOWK TV and WOWKTV.com, and we are out of Charleston, Huntington, Ashland, Ironton. Now, we're going to watch this storm cell move its way into Clay County, and the tornado warning has got 60 seconds left. They may just change that into a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's probably going to be a destructive thunderstorm warning. And again, downtown Charleston, all clear for now. There's a second storm coming, probably not as strong, but strong. The picture that you see in the lower right of your screen is Point Pleasant, where we've seen 2 severe thunderstorms go through. In Scioto County, we've seen 3. There's another storm out there. And we're just going to continue to kind of freeform this crew, because it's been a damaging day with this. Cars absolutely getting just beat up today. And there's another round of hail with a severe thunderstorm coming back in just north of Winfield. Now, as the control room, what are we looking at?
Yeah, that's the one that's on top of the garage,
okay,
looking off to the west.
Okay, so this is looking back now to the west, where things are improving just a little bit. But that second storm may come into sight pretty quickly. And then the third storm is in Portsmouth.
Yeah.
What a crazy day we've had with these storms. So get into shelter again in the Portsmouth area. This is the third time for you. I'll switch over there to that radar. That has the potential for more rotation, unfortunately. Greenup County, please go back to your shelters again. Stay away from windows. I know it's dry in Greenup, but another storm with a lot of electricity is coming your way. There we go.
There's that camera at West Portsmouth at 8:52.
Okay, the new warning. Have they issued a new warning on that? We're looking here. This is brand new.
Yet.
Okay, so we're just waiting on that, and we're waiting on the Weather Service. They do have a severe thunder. I see. So they've got a destructive severe thunderstorm warning up. Tornado warning has expired, but that is good until 6:15. And just for the crew here that knows, we don't get those here very often. So we're going to stay with it, I think, for a little bit. And certainly, ladies, if you just chime in, please. Anything that you get from your friends or pictures and anything from the newsroom, please let us know. All right, Brian's here, Spencer here, Chris is on the road, and we have Marilee and Amanda are standing by with the news updates too from this one. There are three, I should say, 3 distinct severe thunderstorms that are going on right now, but the worst one, Brian, is the leading cell, and we still have the severe thunderstorm watch that's good until 11 o'clock tonight for anybody who can watch us on television. So there's Storm 1, the destructive one with the destructive hail. Storm 2 is coming right back down its tracks, right down 35. Nobody needs that. And Storm 3 is coming right across US 23. Don't know how much punch that one has, but clearly there's a boundary here, and we expect this boundary to go south over the next couple of hours, but we're just in real short-term motion. For the control room, we can take down the tornado warning in effect. Thank you. We can put destructive thunderstorm warning.
I'm going to prep that Summersville camera for
that's
for
great.
us to access.
We're going to be able to
here
see that
in a
storm
moment.
coming. So we're still going to hang with this for just a little bit. And in for the newsroom too. If we get any more photos or anything, there's the new warning that just went out as Brian was speaking for the Summersville area. Feel free to roll those images in. We are kind of free-forming here. And then what we'll probably do is take this one until that destructive storm tag is lifted, because again, it's breaking windows. It's terrible. Severe thunderstorm for Pomeroy area that now goes over to Spencer is just through Ripley right now. That's until 6:45. Here's the new warning. That's good until 7 for the Summersville area. That will be for the destructive storm, but they didn't tag that destructive. And then here's another severe thunderstorm warning until 7 that goes right up to Ashland again.
Some of the notes out of here coming in from some friends who sent me notes that said gutters out in Scott Depot and siding completely torn off. Let's see here. More notes just about the wind damage. And by the way, I'm going to get to your... I'm going to show you, let's see here, I'm going to swing this over here real quick, and yeah, this is going to be, let's see, if we take weather 2 real quick, please. This is what it looked like in from our friend Dave Allen there, who you can see there's the wind damage. This was, as you can see, this is the Tays Valley Scott Depot area. So that wind just laying some of those trees over this. Man, when you see the sporadic nature of those large hailstones, you have much larger hail that we're dealing with there that occasionally will strike.
Let's look around. Pomeroy's looking a little bit better. Let's look in on, when you had Summersville there, I'll look at that real quick. And that's going to be the storm coming at you before 7 o'clock. The Huntington camera looks a little better, but there's another storm out to the west. And from Ashland, we'll get another quick look there. And there's the third severe thunderstorm is loading up on you and coming your way. You can't see the top of it. It does have a little rotation. Certainly going to have that hail once again. There it is. There's
that sky in
1, 2, 3.
Summersville is not pretty.
No, it's really not. I think I hear Chris. Well, I thought I heard Chris. Nope. Okay. Sorry about that. So here are your 3. Actually, there are 4 thunderstorms right now. Point these out here on the map. I just circled them for you. 4 big, and these are as big as a county kind of thunderstorms. So we often sit there and tell you, look, this is not like being in Oklahoma. This one is. That's exactly like being in Oklahoma or Texas. So take shelter from that one. If you're in Summersville, kids got a ball game, done. Call them, call the ump, whatever. Tell them, so the weatherman said the game needs to be done, okay? Let's end that one, and let's head back up to the house in Summersville, because you got probably, it'll be there before 7, that particular thunderstorm. And they might need to extend that down a little bit into Fayette County. I would watch out in Ansted, too. Also, Brian, something that I'm noting, storm, they're starting to link, a little linear here. This has turned into a curve situation. So now you get into just lines, more like a squall line kind of a deal. That supercell out ahead of it, that is your Texas supercell right there. But those other cells are starting to merge, and then what you get into there is just a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings, and then you have to watch out for the spin-ups. That's what you watch out for. But that hail, again, I'm just going to hang here for just another minute or 2 before we hop back over and do what else we need to. But that is, whew, my goodness, people were stopped on the interstate. I have not seen that here, where people, and it was not that they were stopping because of the rain, they were all stopping and all the cars were trying to get together underneath the overpass. Well, what does that do to all the traffic behind you? Like, sorry? That's what was going on. You have traffic up there in the upper right.
Yeah, I'm going to check.
Today with a real hard storm.
Yeah, and we're right here at the tail end of this storm.
Yeah.
And we are looking back to the south here. So what you've got some scud that is passing by the top of the camera there.
Yeah, and I see
Raj, yeah.
Okay, so what you're looking at now is this that warning, I'm not sure why that's still, well, yeah, I'm sure, because it's still flashing. They said 6:15 on that. So we're all clear from that. What we need to do is clear this one off now, soon, and then get ready for that line. So Winfield, you just had hail. Now the northern portion of the county is going to pick up that line with hail again, and that's going to go up across towards Sissonville. And then that one may scrape Clendenin. We mentioned again, if you're in Charleston trying to get to Clendenin, I wouldn't. If you're in
That
Clendenin
wind
trying
is
to get to
actually
Charleston,
really starting to pick up here.
And you're looking at the Buffalo camera right there?
Yep. That is and that's, mind you, this is actually on 35. This is not the Buffalo Bridge area. This is actually on 35.
Okay.
It's just up from the Buffalo area. But for a frame of reference, if you were to actually to look off to the other side of this camera, that's to the left of this camera. That's where you'd be in the Buffalo area. So.
All right. So on the big monitor here, on the big Viper, I'm showing you again that's that chunk right there of hail, and it's extending from Elmwood just north of Fraser's Bottom. So this is good. It's already across the river. It's already across the Kanawha, and it's rolling out. It's going to hit Liberty and Extra. Eventually, it might scrape Kenna. We'll see if that holds together, because this gets kind of hilly up here. You have to go up the hill to Kenna. So we'll see if that holds. But I'm watching out for that. Anytime you get a little kink, now you're watching out for that. Maybe there's a little rotation in here. This is like a punch of wind. We start looking for lots of little things when they get linear like that. Anytime you see a little indent like that, that could be what we call a rear inflow jet, where the wind is going boom, hits the hail and goes down with it, and bang, right down to the ground. So be careful. That's why there is a severe thunderstorm warning in here. I know there's a lot of warnings. Putnam, northern portion of Putnam, that's going to go into the southern portion of Jackson. So if you're in Sissonville and you got to run on up to Ripley, don't. Give it an hour. Give it an hour at least before you do. Or from Ripley, if you're there, you probably don't want to be going anywhere right now. That's going to be crossing I-77. That's, before an hour. That'll be before 7 o'clock. That'll be through there. That warning is good until 6:45. An extra Liberty, Confidence, maybe a little bit of Winfield. We'll be able to see that one coming again. So that one's kind of going right on the outskirts of that previous storm cell. On the north side, which is what's weird. Usually they go on the south side. The next storm that you had was Summersville coming up?
Yes, I've got that coming up. That camera is prepped. I'm also swinging the camera around at Ashland.
There's the Ashland, yeah.
Yeah, because the lower portion of that thunderstorm, or I should say the southwest portion of that thunderstorm, is concerning. It is going into an environment that has actually not been touched in a while. So, and with that being a lone storm by itself, that's something we're going to continue to watch. But we've been watching these thunderstorms. There's our various cameras that we've been watching this afternoon, heading into this evening, and these thunderstorms. Can we get? Let's go ahead and get to the Ashland camera if we can, please.
Yep, I'm coming up to Ashland here for you.
Because this one. Watching the lightning strikes alone have increased here, but it's coming up. This is the Ironton Russell Bridge, Oakley C. Clark. It's Oakley Clark Collins Bridge there, suspension bridge across the river there, from across the Ohio, and that is definitely a thunderstorm worth watching.
It's severe. Yep, it's
Yeah.
severe. So we're watching that one. Let's just check in real quick, see if the Gallup police camera is still on and how they're doing. Nope, it is not on. Well, that happens during these storms. Okay, Summersville, I'll go back there for you real quick. There's the Catlettsburg camera. That storm's going to come in from the right side. Ooh, there's a little lightning. Did you see that cloud to cloud lightning?
Yeah.
Summersville. We're looking kind of back to the west and southwest right there with that view. And it's going to come straight across, like right into the camera. It'll be coming across the Walmart, just a little bit to the right. If you're in Summersville, you want to, get into a shelter. If you know somebody that you're watching right now and you're going, man, they're up at Walmart, text them and tell them you better get on home. And if it's not within the next 20 minutes, then just, kind of stay put, find a spot that's away from windows and so forth, because those storms are coming into the Summersville area right there. I mean, that's going to be there. That flashing one, I wish that would go away. They haven't expired that destructive yet. That's going to go away in about 4 minutes. So we got this down to kind of basically just a bunch of severe thunderstorms right now, 3, 4, and it's turning into a line too. That's the first time I've seen that big destructive tag, by the way, on the severe thunderstorms, and that was a good call. So I'm just looking around the room. We're going to do a little housekeeping. I think probably what we can do, because that has expired, we're going to continue to watch that one in Summersville. It's quote unquote just a severe thunderstorm. If we see anything else, we'll hop back in, but I think we probably need to take a break if we can. I'll give a shout to the control room. Are you guys okay with that? Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll take a break. We're going to get our act reset for just a real quick minute, and then we'll be back with more news. Just continue to be very, very careful in these areas. Get that Storm Tracker 13 app, please. Just go to WOWKTV.com/weather/app. Download it now. Brian's interrogating storm cells as we speak. Let's take a break.